Hey guys, Paul be back again. Today I wanted to make a quick video about my thoughts on the new release. There's a big new release from Atari today called the Atari 2600 Plus. I first saw this, and it's a system that looks just like an old 4-switch Atari 2600 from back in the day, and they say it's about 80% of the size of a regular system. I've got a couple systems here, so you look at the difference. I got my original system from when I was a kid right here, pretty big and quite heavy. And then this is an Atari Flashback 8 Gold, which is pretty cool as well. It's about an inch bigger than this, but a couple inches smaller than this one, and quite a bit lighter. It's a little bit over a pound, and it's going to be an emulation system. A lot of people are asking, well, is this just playing cartridges? But is it emulation or is it real hardware? Well, it is emulation. It's a cart dumper, basically, is what it is. And it's, like I said, it's going to play 2600 or 7800. People are also asking, will it play 5200 games? Well, the carts don't fit. But maybe they could build an adapter, and then the carts would be able to go in and get dumped, and you'd be able to play 5200 games as well, because, hey, it's an emulator, so they can make it work for however they want, just with a firmware update, right? Anyway, let's take a look at the website here. It's all on the Atari website for pre-order. It's going to be delivered in November, and see exactly what they have here in this whole bundle. All right, so first of all, let's look at the 2600 Plus itself, $129.99. Now, a lot of people are also asking, is it going to be available just in the US or other countries as well? And on the website right now, it says this product is only available for shipping in the United States. And there's also another note saying for other countries, there will be retailers announced soon. So you can't have it shipped to Canada yet. You can't have it shipped to Europe or other places in the world. But it's open for the US, and I haven't tested yet as to whether Canadian buyers can have it shipped to the States, which is something that I do quite often, living so close to the US. But basically what it comes with is you get one joystick, and it's an original joystick. Original joysticks also work on this system, and these new joysticks will also work on the original system. So if you have an original Atari 2600, these joysticks will work on it, is what they're saying. And there are that's no games built into the system. But what you do get with it is you get a cart with 10 games on the system. So basically, like I said, one cart that'll go on, it'll dump into the system. And there's 10 different games. Let's take a look at what these games are now. Okay, here it is. System includes a 10-in-1 2600 game cartridge. Features some of Atari's most famous games. You have Adventure. Of course, you gotta have Combat. Dodge 'em, Haunted House, Maze Craze, Missile Command, Real Sports, Volleyball, Surround, Video Pinball, and Yar's Revenge. So other than Combat, you'll be able to play all these games right out of the box. You'll be able to play with Combat, but you need the second controller. And the controller does not come with it. The second controller does not come with it. Only one comes with it. You can buy a second one, however, as you can see right here, and they're $24.99. So frankly, if they're good quality controllers, that's really not a bad deal to get a brand new controller for your Atari system, because like I said before, it also will work on your original system. Another very interesting thing I noticed on the game cartridge is that it has dip switches. And this actually, when you think about it, it makes sense to select the game that you want to play using these dip switches, because that allows the function of the cart dumping. If it was a menu-driven system, it wouldn't be able to dump the cart. So really, it does make sense that this would have dip switches. Now, a lot of people are also asking about paddles for this game, and it does not come with any paddles or paddle games right out of the box. But you can, for an additional $39.99, order a paddle set, which comes with a complete set of paddles. So it's one pair of paddles, just like for the original, which again, they say will work with the original system too. And it comes with a 4-game cart, just like your 10-game cart, only 4 paddle games, and they are Super Breakout, Canyon Bomber, let me see what they are, Night Driver, and Video Olympics. So that's a good combo. No Warlords there, which is kind of missed, but if you have your Warlords cart, you're going to plug it right in and do it, right? So this looks really interesting, this system. What other features are available? Let's take a quick look. I guess that's probably about it. They advertise their other games that they have coming out. They got a new Super Berserk, where they just got that license. And of course, they got Mr. Run and Jump, which is going to work on the system. So that tells you that some type of homebrew will work on the system, but I'm really not sure how it's going to work with other homebrews that use more advanced technology that work on the original hardware. Will they work? Possibly. And even some of the original games don't necessarily work, but the vast majority have been tested. And if you check on the website, they have a compatibility list on there. So many games have been tested. You can see on the list, I'll scroll through a few of them here. You got pass, untested, and failed. The vast majority of them have passed. But there are a lot there that have been untested, but they're kind of more obscure games for the most part. And very few that failed. Real Sports Boxing's an interesting title that's not going to work on the game. And the other one that sort of caught my eye is Super Cobra. But it even goes through all the different third-party games, or at least the vast majority of third-party games. And again, not very many of them have failed. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. How many people are going to be using the original cart of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre on this system? Probably not too many, so it's not a real big deal. There are other ways you could play it, but a lot of untested, like I said, but at the end of the day, really the vast majority are proven to work fine with it. So this all sort of comes down to the point of how much do we need this system in the market? HDMI, people say, I need HDMI way to play my Atari 2600. Well, there's lots of ways to play HDMI with your Atari 2600 right now. There's, like I said, right here, you have your flashback consoles, okay? The vast majority of games that you want to play are already on here. There's 120 games or something like this on the 8, and the Atari 50-year one has about the same number, if not more, different games to play. So let's compare it to the Retron 77, which has been out for a few years now, at about $40 or $50 less, right? Advantages, disadvantages. Well, price, okay, is one thing. Durability. If this comes out and it's a really strong product, like it's really solid, durable, the joysticks are in really good condition. They don't break easily, which was a big problem with the Retron 77. The joysticks just break, snap right off. Then this is very much worth it. I mean, it is an actual Atari product for Atari 2600 and 7800 games. So that's very much in its favor. It makes me really want this system. The big drawback there, the big thing that I'm most concerned with, different people have asked about, does it take SD cards so you could put different ROMs in? And the answer is no. You can't use, there's no mention of an SD card slot on it anywhere, or being able to put ROMs on, use ROMs on the system. Just the cart dumper itself. I don't know if I like that idea, because that means you're going to have the cart before you can play the games, which I guess you're supposed to do anyway. So legally wise, I guess it's perfectly fine. But reality is, with the Retron 77, it opens up a much larger array of games that you can play. I said a few minutes ago about who's going to be putting the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which doesn't work, into the system to use it. Well, somebody may have wanted to, but most people would just be playing it in emulation anyway. But not on this system, and because A, probably wouldn't be compatible, and B, there's no way to put them on anyhow. That being said, they always seem to find a way soon after a product comes out. So at the end of the day, am I going to get one of these Atari 2600 Pluses? You know, more for the fact that it's an Atari product, and I love the Atari. Like I said, this here is my original from when I was a kid, right? Someday I'm going to fix this, because it's been broken forever. 40 years. It's been broken for 40 years, okay? I'm going to fix it next year. Actually, next year will be the anniversary of when it got broken, and I know what's wrong with it. I'm going to try to fix it next year. It's sort of been a thing saying 40 years later, am I going to have my original Atari 2600? We're going to see if it works. But anyway, guys, am I going to get this? There's a very good chance that I am. I am not going to jump right on it and order it today, because, I mean, there's a lot of people who are going to, because it didn't matter. They could paint a cardboard box and put Atari 2600 on it. People would buy it. Some people would just buy everything. But I'm going to wait to see a little bit more about it, listen to some of the stories, watch some reviews and such. Well, I don't know about reviews, but probably some previews. There may be some previews out, or some opinions of different people. And, you know, will I get one? Yeah, I dare say I probably will. But that being said, I don't see it as an absolute need, because there's nothing that this is going to be able to do that I can't do any other way. Am I still happy that it's out, that it's a product being made by Atari? Absolutely. I really do think that it's things like this which is more needed than more flashbacks or more little PCs in a box. This is more along the lines of what I would have liked to have seen from Atari and Intellivision back in 5 years ago, let's say. But anyway, guys, that's my opinion. It's a good product, you know, a little bit of the background on it, and hopefully when it comes out, we're all very happy with it. And yeah, hopefully it has great sales, and there's more great things to come, like 5200 adapters or Atari 8-bit adapters, or more different controllers, or who knows what. But anyway, guys, I'm Papa Pete, and thanks for spending a little bit of time with me here today. You take care.
Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. Papa Pete, the old ass gamer. If you haven't grown up by the age.
What's going on, everyone? It's Rich Haywood here from Bacon Ice Cream Productions and Team RTFC. And you're watching Papa Pete, the Old Guy Gamer.